Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. You ever notice how Claressa Shields can turn any conversation into a verbal TKO? Like, you could be talking about lunch and she'll say, yeah, but nobody eats better than the GWOAT. But recently, the joke stopped being funny. And people started to wonder if the self-proclaimed GWOAT was throwing jabs in all the wrong directions. Because here's the deal. Claressa Shields came out swinging against light-skinned women, or how she would say, light-skinned it. Saying they weren't as tough as her. She made comments about hair texture too. Like toughness had something to do with curls and complexion. Yo, this ain't a shampoo commercial, you know what I'm saying? Claressa Shields is a world champion, not a shade card tester. It shouldn't even matter about anyone being light-skinned, who have curly hair. None of that shit matters. Confidence or colorism? What's the story? Got people out here thinking, why? Why would a woman who's conquered the amateur and pro ranks, a two-time Olympic gold medalist, feel the need to tear down women who look different from her? Especially when those two women, like, Laila and Alycia Baumgardner, are part of the same sport, fighting or fought the same battle for respect in a male-dominated game. You see, this whole thing with colorism, let me just tell y'all something, right? It's not some made-up social media term. It's real. It's when people within the same race start treating lighter or darker skin tones differently. It's like racism's little cousin. Quieter, sneakier, but just as toxic. I'm going to give you a true story, and I'm going to keep going with my outline. I remember being in the restroom, right? Big ass restroom, like 15 stalls and all that. But I remember I was in there, was taking a piss, and there were two cats in there. One was in the stall, another one come out the shower and shit, right? In the area where we worked at was out there in the aircraft maintenance group. And they had huge facilities. So I came from working out. So I had showered off. I had on my uniform and a t-shirt. And I was in there, doing my hair and shit and getting ready. And I remember them two cats. They were the sinks next to me, man. And they were watching me. And I was, the fuck y'all looking at? They were like, yo, man, he got that good hair. He got that good hair. And they were like, yeah, man, if this was back in the day, he'd be in the big house. He'd be in the big house. And they were laughing. I was like, I said, yo, I don't know what all that means and shit. I said, but don't think that I got it any easier than anybody else out here because of the little curly hair and shit. And I was like, yo, you telling on yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Your motherfuckers are haters. And they were laughing. I walked out of there. But I remember that shit annoyed the shit out of me because them cats was like 10 years older than me. Old, miserable motherfuckers. But they ain't had no women either. So that's why they were hating. They were miserable. They always see me with 31 days of the month. I had 31 chicks. You know what I'm saying? They were miserable. But I just remember that comment. And I was like, first of all, I was like, what the fuck does that mean? That because of my hair texture, I'd be in the big house. See, I ain't from the South. So when they start talking all that Jim Crow shit, I don't know what the fuck they be talking about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm 50 now, but back then I was younger. I was like, the fuck? And both were from Alabama. And I was like, yeah, good thing I ain't grew up out there. I'd hate to have that mentality. So they used to really watch people and be light-skinned motherfucker, take a lick on the back and roll over for master. I never in my life heard no shit like that. One guy, name was Parker. I ain't gonna say his first name, but his name was Parker. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard. You dislike somebody. We're at an academy, right? Supposed to be there learning, strengthening your minds. And he just disliked this guy. It was a light-skinned dude. And he just, I don't know why he didn't like him. I'd be like, why you don't like him, man? He's like, I just don't like him, man. Because the guy spoke proper and shit like that, you know, and I think his father was white, mother was black. It's a biracial cat. A biracial cat like me, I ain't half white, half black. I'm from the Caribbean, man, you know what I mean? My mixture don't matter. But I was just like, yo, that's crazy to dislike the dude for that. He's like, nah, he's one of them boys. These are his words. He'll take a lick on the back and roll over for massa. Take a lick on the back and roll over for master. And I was like, yo, that's the wildest shit I've ever heard. But I ain't really mess with the dude too much after that. They always be trying to talk to me, but I ain't fuck with nobody in that class. You know, I was the guy, when we do speeches, I do the speech and be attacking everybody in there like, y'all motherfuckers are crazy. Because the class was really divided, man. That's some black and white shit, you know, and I'm like, I don't fucking live like that, man. You know what I mean? I vibe with everybody. I go with mentality, how you treat me, attitude. I don't care about the color of your fucking skin. But that class wasn't like that. And anyway, I kind of got off on a tangent, but all I'm saying is, when it comes to Laila, Alycia Baumgardner, Claressa Shields, you just don't like them, you know what I mean? And it's all about that colorism, you know what I'm saying? Now, I do think in impoverished communities, you know, that thing hits hard. You know, it divides people who should be supporting each other. You know, you got girls growing up thinking their beauty or worth depends on how much melanin they inherited or how straight their hair is. Let me tell y'all something. This shit about hair and curly hair and wavy hair, man, that shit, yo, somebody want this? You can have it. I'll give this shit to you. We could trade. Let you rock this shit for a week. And you give me back my hair, I'll give you back yours. And then you tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want this reddish brown skin, this African and Indian mixed skin right here? Y'all want that? Take that shit. Give me yours. We'll swap for a week. And then you tell me if you think your life get any better. You know what I mean? You tell me if you think you're more happy. You tell me if you think you get more girls. You're going to make more money this way. The fuck out of here. That shit means nothing. Okay? It only means something to the people who don't have it. And this thing about the women, thinking that beauty or worth depends on the melanin or lack of melanin or how, the hair texture, that shit is crazy, man. It bothers me a lot. But when you see someone like Claressa, who made it out of poverty, out of trauma, out of the system, she starts using that same language, man, that once hurt people like her. It hits different because she should know better. You know, what is it she feels when she looks at Laila, Alycia Baumgardner? When she want to talk about the light-skinned girl, the pretty Laila, the pretty, the light-skinned. That shit, I just don't get it, man. But we got to get real on this whole, you know, discussion point. Claressa Shields is a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? Flint, Michigan built her out of iron, built her out of pain and pure willpower. But somewhere along the way, you know, she confused confidence with combativeness. She doesn't just want to win fights. She wants to win every argument, every narrative, every comment section. But here's the truth. Confident builds bridges. Insecurity burns them, and she's been burning bridges. You know, they had that shit back in the day. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let that Mickey Ficky burn. Burn, Mickey Ficky. And that's what she got going on. The bridge is on fire. And you know what? Lately, she's been holding the lighter. Look, when she goes at Laila Ali, that shit ain't just beef. You know, that's generational warfare. You know, that's legacy versus legacy. Laila Ali didn't even ask for this smoke. She just woke up one morning and found herself trending because Claressa decided to throw a jab at Muhammad Ali's daughter. Then there's Alycia Baumgardner. Young, flashy, marketable, fighting her way through adversity too. she don't have it easy either. Claressa should be celebrating her, not shading her. But she looks at it and wish she sees something in Baumgardner that for some reason she thinks Baumgardner got it easier than her. Baumgardner, let me tell you something. How about this, right? I don't find Baumgardner or Claressa that attractive. How about that? Laila Ali is alright, but they're all right. But is there any female in boxing who I'd say, yo, she alright? I don't think there's ain't no female out here that I'm like, yo, she alright. I'm trying to think of one. No, ain't. So I'm just telling you, some cats will look at Claressa Shields and be like, they could care less about her hair texture, her color. They just see, the little bumper. Boom, she got the lobster tail. Some girls look at Baumgardner, they be like, she got the swimsuit physique, you know what I mean? She's in shape. But they're athletes. But for me, I don't think Baumgardner or Laila Ali or Claressa Shields are, like, I don't think they should be, like, if Claressa Shields looks at them and thinks they have something that she feels inferior toward, she shouldn't feel that way. Because maybe if I could take Laila Ali's face, Claressa Shields' brown skin, and Baumgardner's physique, then maybe we got the perfect woman over here for me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, there's nothing about any of them that I think they should be bugging over. You know what I mean? That's just me. I'm trying to think, who's a female out there who just really, but I like natural. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for all this, I ain't got time for these injections and shit. I'm trying to think of. I got a lot of females in but that's females that I know, you know what I'm saying, that I used to deal with. I had a lot of them. But I don't be watching this shit on TV. But who's someone who's natural? I'll put it to this way. I saw a chick at a weigh-in this weekend. I didn't see her face. I think she's MMA or something. But I just saw the booty. And her shit was natural. She was on point, the booty. I didn't see nothing else. Her face may have crashed and burned. But what I'm saying is, I'm trying to see if there's someone out there in boxing. Nah, ain't none of them. They say, all right, but ain't nothing out there. Ain't nothing out there, man, that I be, bugging over. They got women walking around here every day, man. Chicks up and down the road out here, man, looking way better than all of them. So I don't see what the big deal is, but I will say Claressa should be celebrating and not shading everybody, man. But she got her own complex she dealing with. It's like she's allergic to sharing the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? You praise another woman, she's like, so you saying I ain't the GWOAT? You saying I ain't pretty? You saying I ain't this? Oh, it's because of why? Why? Because I'm dark skinned? Because they light skinned? They got good hair? It's like, nah, Claressa, let me tell you something. Most of us, when we look at Baumgardner, we look at any female fighter, most of us ain't thinking about nobody's goddamn complexion or nobody's goddamn hair texture. Now, if we do notice that Claressa Shields has blue in her hair, it's because she has blue in her fucking hair. And even I didn't understand. I'm like, why she got this blue shit in her head? But then it was for Flint, and just to inform people about the water crisis. So like, oh, okay, I get it. I didn't think nothing else of it. But trust me, I'm not looking at and thinking nothing at all. Now, Franchon Cruz-Dezurn, she wear all them wild wigs, but she's into fashion. But did I pay attention because she come, one day her hair is this, one day her hair is that, one day her hair is this, one day she in a boxing ring and her wig falling off and shit. So then we pay attention. But other than that, most of us ain't paying attention with Claressa Shields. I mean, I notice it now because of the shit she been saying. I never paid attention to none of that. I'm just not like that. But then I did start noticing when she hooked up with Papoose. Pat, make my pumpkin spice, boy. When she hooked up with Papoose, I did notice that she started looking a little different. Like, yo, she looking like she from the East Coast, with the hat and the long weave and all. I'm like, what the fuck going on here? She's trying to be Remy Ma. She got the jeans and boots and Timbs on it. I'm like, what happened here? So I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, because she's taking some pride in her appearance. Because I'm gonna tell you, I used to date this one girl, nice looking chick. She was half Puerto Rican, half black. I was stationed in Georgia, and she just happened to be from there. A little small area, small ass apartment. Dad and mom, they were on welfare and shit. I didn't know that when I met her. And matter of fact, I met her. She was working, I can't remember if she was working, but some little city job. I went in there to get something done with my car. May have been the DMV. When I walked in there, all them honeys, they were paying attention, but I noticed that one. So of course, I stepped to her. They were surprised at how bold I was. I didn't care. I've never been shy. If I like you, I like you. I want to talk to you. You either going to talk to me or you're not. I don't give a fuck. But boom, everything worked out. So then when I picked her up one day, I met her somewhere, and we came back to the crib and chilled. And then next day she came over, and then we chilled for a while. But I'd never gone over to her place. She was like, yo, I'll stay over here, but my parents over here. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But it wasn't until a while, because she was always with me. I'm like, yo. And one day we went over there and I saw her and I was like, oh, okay. And I can tell you, when I noticed she'd come by, she'd be dressed like an old fucking woman. And no, me, I don't trip on nothing, you know what I'm saying? I just know when I'm out, she's seeing me Jiggy Jono, you know what I'm saying? Everything matching, even my earring, everything matched everything, you know what I'm saying? And so I had to get her up to speed, because I'm like, yo, nice looking little young chick and shit, you know what I'm saying? But then she was in with her grandmother too. And that's what she was taking me over by her grandmother. And I went over there, I was like, yo, you dressing like Flossie. You know what I'm saying? The fuck going on here? And so I had to get her straight. And when I did that, her life changed. Shit changed. Her confidence changed. Everything changed. Her friends, everybody. Ooh, girl, you dressing nice. Who's that guy? They used to call me Derek Jeter, because I was wearing a New York shirt with Jeter on the back. That's why they call me Derek Jeter. Who you, Jeter? Jeter done changed you, girl. But I wasn't trying to change or nothing. I was just like, hey, you too young to be out here wearing them fucking Lane Bryant pants, you know what I'm saying? Flared out at the bottom with them old women's shoes, them loafers. Get the fuck out of here. So we went to the mall and got her straight and showed her. I taught that girl how to cook and everything, but she ain't know no better. And I just think with Papoose and Claressa Shields, she ain't know any better. And she just got exposed to something different, and her confidence bubbled up. Same shit to this day. I don't talk to that girl no more. Yeah, I'm talking fucking 20 years ago. But to this day, that girl be trying to find me and contact me. She done found me on Facebook a couple of times. And, I had to block her, because I don't need no problems. You know what I mean? And I don't need no motherfucking attention. I don't want no attention. But when I look at Papoose and Claressa Shields, it kind of remind me of that. Like, he got a chick, he's older. She was like 21, I was 28. So I was older, had been out on my own since 18 years old, getting my own money since 14, 15. So my mind was way more advanced than anything she had come across, you know what I'm saying? So I just remember, like, yo, this chick don't know nothing. And when I watch Papoose with Claressa, it's like she don't know nothing compared to him. He a city slicker. He a fast talker. He a fast mover and shaker. I was the same way, But that being said, that could be what's going on with Claressa Shields. And now she's starting to feel herself a little bit. But what I'll say this, man, is that psychology that she has, it comes from somewhere. Where she just can't appreciate what these other women are doing. She just needs to calm down before she throws a left hook at the goddamn internet, you know what I'm saying? And when someone always feels attacked, even when nobody's attacking them, that shit ain't confidence. That's defensiveness. She's always on the defensive. When you start seeing the world through that filter, everyone's a hater, everyone's against you, everyone's jealous. You stop growing, you stop learning, man. It's called projection. I heard that before. You don't project on me, your problems. Taking your inner issues and projecting them on everyone else. Clarissa's acting like the world doesn't respect her. But the truth is, the world gave her everything. Gave her titles, gave her recognition, gave her respect. What people didn't give her was worship. They don't have to worship you. That's the part she can't handle. And the first thing she wants to do is attack these females and people who look different from her because of her inferiority complex. She wouldn't say that about somebody who looked like her. She ain't got nothing to say about the dark skin and the hair and all that. That shit doesn't even matter. Because the reality is, almost all of us go through the same struggle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what she's thinking. But I just think we need to understand some solutions, because even villains can rebrand. If Claressa wants to save her image, she needs to understand that being the bad guy works only if people still like watching you. Floyd Mayweather did it perfectly. He played the villain, but he never disrespected legends or culture. He knew how to dance on the line, you know what I'm saying? And even Floyd, he was on Drink Champs, and somebody was talking about one of his sons and how his son had good hair. Somebody had good hair. It was Nori was saying it. Floyd was like, "No, we don't do that. That's colorism." Floyd sometimes want to let the world know that he knows. He just learned something. Oh yeah, I know what colorism is, and we're not gonna do that. Hair is hair. There's no such thing as good hair. It's like, Floyd, shut the fuck up. You know what he's saying. You know what I mean? He's not saying that one of your sons are more handsome than the other. Everybody says, he got that good hair, she got that good hair, they got that blow in the wind hair. You know what I mean? But the truth is, hair, he ain't wrong. Hair is just hair, but that's how people talk. Just like I may walk around, that black guy. Yo, man, my skin brown. I'm not black, you know what I'm saying? This is black, motherfucker. I ain't seen too many black people around here, let's say from Senegal or something. So, I just feel Floyd understood some things. He knew how to dance on the line. Claressa jumped over the line, body slammed the line, and then she set it on fire. So if she really wants redemption, she needs to stop punching down, literally and figuratively. Start building bridges with the same women she's tearing down. Because all in the same boat. That's in her mind. Trust me. Her and them, Laila, Alycia, and Baumgardner, they all in the same boat. She may not think so, but yeah, they are. And I do understand that, colorism does exist, and there are times with the stigmas. Look, there's a reason why everybody's scared of a black cat. Because everything that we've been taught is black is bad, black is dirty, black. Brainwash you. And it's just unfortunate. But believe you me, Alycia Shields don't realize just how much she have in common. But who knows what may have been said to her by some of these female fighters. Society's raw, man. Society is raw. The same way we could talk about how these light-skinned women or biracial people can be targeted. Same way with dark-skinned people, man. That shit goes both ways. We got everything in common. We all go through the same shit. So we should be kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? Not out here fighting, but if she wants redemption, she got to figure it out. Because she should be building bridges with these females she's tearing down. You know what I'm saying? Imagine Claressa Shields doing a sit-down with Laila Ali. Could you imagine that? Two queens of the sport. That would be historic. But instead, she's beefing with her on Instagram Live like a rapper who dropped a diss track after one bad comment. And I'll be honest with you. If Claressa Shields really wanted to do something to grow her profile, the perfect person for her to do it with would be Laila Ali. Laila Ali is not judging. She was not judging Claressa Shields based on her appearance. Nothing. That's Claressa Shields feeling like she's not qualified, she's not worthy. That shit's all up here. But Laila Ali would have been the perfect person for her to kind of follow on her path, use her to create different opportunities for her, who wouldn't have judged her. And she could have probably opened up to her, say, you know, sometimes I feel uncomfortable in this setting or around these people. And Laila Ali would have broke shit down to her. Would have told her, you think you feel uncomfortable? Because what? Because how dark you are? Because your hair texture? Try having the last name Ali. Try filling those shoes. How do you think I feel? You know what I'm saying? And I think they could have had a moment. But you know, it is what it is. I just think when I watch her, she's kind of making the same mistakes that Adrian Broner made. You know what I'm saying? Broner had all the talent in the world, but the ego, antics, insecurities robbed him of greatness. Claressa walking that same path, and fans are slowly backing away. Now let's sprinkle some humor in here because this is heavy stuff. When Claressa said light-skinned girls, like something along the lines that they weren't tough, the entire internet looked at her like yo, Laila Ali's jab alone can knock the taste out your mouth and still make it home in time for dinner. And Alycia Baumgardner, hold your horses, let's not take it to the stupid. That woman fight like she's allergic to losing, you know what I'm saying? This ain't about complexion, it's about competition. So what we're seeing is not colorism in theory, it's colorism in real time. Claressa's projecting old wounds, the trauma of being told dark-skinned girls aren't pretty, that they're too aggressive. And now she's swinging back at a ghost, you know what I'm saying? But she's swinging at the wrong people. You don't heal from pain by passing it on. You heal by confronting it. And that's what Claressa needs. She needs healing. You know what I'm saying? She don't need headlines. She can still be the GWOAT, but she's got to remember, greatness ain't just belts and medals. It's how people remember you when the gloves come off. So for me, like here's the closer, right? If Claressa wants to save her brand, her fan base, her peace, and her legacy, she needs to take a long look in the mirror and realize it's not Laila Ali she's fighting. It's not Alycia Baumgardner. It's not the internet. It's not Claressa. It's Claressa Shields versus Claressa Shields. And if she doesn't figure that out soon, that's the one fight that she'll lose by knockout, and she in that fight all by herself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you, contrasts make the world beautiful. We should love all and hate none. People need to, we may have a different status in life, but we all share the same dignity. Got to stop with this hate, especially when it comes to just race, religion, economic status, sexual preference, man, economic status, political affiliation, whatever the fuck it is. That shit doesn't matter. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's about this mentality, how people treat you. People treat your kids, treat your family. Can you depend on somebody? You can have somebody that look just like you. They'll treat you like shit. Get somebody who be a different religion, different race. They could be from a different economic status. They could be support a different political party, and they treat you like gold. You know why? Because that shit don't matter. It's about what's up here, what's in here. She got to figure that out. Because I really think, I don't know about Baumgardner. Baumgardner seemed a little saucy, but she seemed like she ain't gonna mess with nothing. She ain't gonna just come out there and stir the pot for no reason. But there's one person who embodies what I just described, because I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of that shit. But Laila Ali, like she said, the Ali way. Claressa, I think, has burnt a bridge with somebody that could have really given her everything that she was looking for, which is just unconditional love and support. Unconditional love and support. And just how great of an asset Laila Ali could have been to Claressa Shields if Claressa Shields played her cards right, but she didn't. Ridiculous. Anyway, man, she crossed the line, man. Ego, colorism creates a huge dilemma for Claressa Shields. Matter of fact, some of this shit I wasn't even aware of. I wasn't aware of some of these comments till Laila Ali put that shit out. I knew Claressa Shields would say things, but I didn't know that. I was like, what? It's crazy, man. That shit annoys me, man. You know what I'm saying? I get the skin, that brown skin, I get that from my mother. That hair, I get from my dad. You know what I'm saying? The red in my skin is from my pops, but this brown skin, that's my mom. I just don't understand that shit. Like, I'm done with my outline. I'm just rambling on now. Like, I'm really make me think I'm being a young cat. Give y'all a quick story. I'm gonna spill my coffee and shit. I remember being a young cat, right? I was born in Boston. My dad took us back to Trinidad when we were kids, young guys. Stayed out there several years. But I remember coming back to the States. You come back, you got your Trini accent and everything, you know what I mean? I remember we were in school, elementary school, and the teacher used to always make me read, right? And I always remember thinking, why this fucking woman keep asking me to read, man? And she just loved hearing me read, you know, because when I was young, I had strong accent. And then I'd be walking through back to my seat, and she would always, when I'd be walking by, she would touch my hair and touch on me. She'd always fucking touch on me. And I'd be like, yo. And she was like, oh, man, you so handsome, you so this. And oh, your hair and this. But I was a young cat, like 9 years old. And I was like, yo, this woman be too touchy-feely and shit. And then I remember kids, 11 years old, and, yo, he got the Michael Jackson hair. Yo, nah, that's the ladies, man. Nah, man, you can't come over here. You're going to get all the girls. You got the good hair. And I remember thinking, you know what I'm saying, like, fuck does all that mean? I'll be honest with you. I never thought about none of that shit. That was all colorism. But I never, ever thought about it. You know why? Because in our house, we never talked about that shit. For what? I was raised to feel I was somebody. I was never raised with no fucking racism and no hate and talking about this and that. Nothing. Nothing. Never once. Never. It wasn't until something happened when I was about 14 where I realized that, maybe I look a little different. My brothers, I started looking at my brothers and shit. All of them with this, the complexion and the hair and shit. Looking at my dad and from the Caribbean, look at my mother, where she from, and a little bit of mixture and shit. And I was like, okay, that's what all that shit they were saying back in elementary school about. Michael Jackson hair, blowing the wind hair, the teacher wanted to touch on us and shit. Walking through the mall, we were like fucking 11 and 12 years, 18, 19-year-old girls like, oh, they're going to be so this and that, and grabbing us and touching our hair. And we were like, what the fuck? My brother and I used to trip out off that. Like, that's fucking... But by this age, them girls grab on us. We were locked and loaded. You know what I'm saying? We were like, hey, come and do that again. But I just remember all that shit. So for me to sit here at 50 years old and to see this shit going on with Claressa Shields and this whole thing about colorism and hair and complexion and that shit, let me tell you something. That shit is disappointing. I saw that shit my whole life. But I grew up in an area that was very diverse. We had a lot of people from all races, a lot of mixtures, a lot of cats who had both parents or one parent from another country. There was a lot of culture where I grew up. So it was normal. You know what I'm saying? It was normal. Nobody, matter of fact, nobody gave a shit. You know what I'm saying? But when I did notice, like, some places like the South and other places, a little bit crazy. Maybe some more different areas. Like when I joined the military, I went to the military at 19. I had to get a waiver to join. It took me a year to get through that waiver because, I was a bad boy. But I ended up getting in there. I remember joining and just seeing motherfuckers. I was like, yo, these people crazy. A lot of these cats who were joining, like, what the fuck? Yo, there were people, I remember these motherfuckers from Arkansas. Never seen a black person. Motherfucker from West Virginia. Never seen a Mexican. Black dude, never seen a white person on TV. Small towns. Then there's a couple of guys coming there, barely speaking English, somehow got their papers straight, from China. People are like, what the fuck? And they none of that shit. I remember sitting there like, yo, these guys really grew up under a fucking rock. And then you take that now and you fast forward it 15 years, and some of those same people, they come out their comfort zones and they develop friendships and rapport with people who are, are different from them. And that makes the world a better place. But there are some who they never get quite comfortable. They're always going to feel like, I'm more comfortable here, you stay over there. Some are going to always feel like they're inferior to you. Some are going to feel they're superior to you. But that's why with me, man, I just have a whole lot of don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is me talking. This ain't Hood Champion, the YouTube guy. This is me talking. I just didn't give a shit. But I saw it. I've seen girls out there dislike girls because of, whatever. They think one is ugly, or this one thinks she pretty, and this one thinks she better. This one here thinks she what do they call her? Prissy. I remember dating this girl. I was dating this one chick. Stopped talking to her. Started dating this other chick. The other chick just happened to be, I'll just tell you, one chick was black. Stopped talking to her. Started messing with a chick who was half black, half Filipino. And the one black girl, man, she got mad. I wasn't even talking to her no more. But they were just mad because the girl was one of their friends. I was running through all of their friends. And the Filipino and black one, me and her, we just clicked. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first time I heard the word prissy. That prissy bitch, she ain't black anyway, she ain't this. Thought she was all that. And she, her skin was darker than mine, long curly hair and shit, but I just remember they wanted to fucking jump that girl. I was like, that's crazy. Then I've been through a situation where I've seen, chicks get jumped. Females fighting like men over appearance. This shit is dumb. So when I watched this shit with Claressa Shields, and once I heard her make those comments, it just took me back. I'm like, damn, I've seen this before. I've seen where this shit goes left. Matter of fact, I saw when her and Baumgardner were going back and forth. You could see Claressa Shields was amped up. Claressa Shields really, she was just trying to get in the face. I was like, yo, she really want to hit this chick. But I know it's boxing. Let him box. But my thing was, what has you that angry with her? Because Baumgardner was just talking shit and like, yeah, whatever, and but it's like, what has her that amped up? Anyway, we all have different experiences in life. I've seen it all, man. I've been on all sides. Fucking side where, black people don't like you, white people don't like you, I've been on all sides. And I just realized, man, that there's a whole lot of assholes in the world. Can't take them all on. Dislike you because you're successful, man. Yo. This is a Quran, right? It's a book. I ain't here to talk religion. What I'm saying is, if I give you a book and I take the same book and I decide to read that book and master that book and you don't do it, you can't get mad at me because I took time to read that book. If we both in college and I'm getting A's, or we at work and I'm staying late and I'm learning my job and I'm accessible, I'm doing extra projects, you can't get mad if I get a promotion. How hard you want to work? Same way if you want to work hard and make money. Some people don't. You can't get mad at the person putting the work in. Same thing with fighting. You want to be a great fighter, put the training in, the discipline. Don't drink alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Have the rest. You got to have the discipline. But the same way you put the energy and effort into that shit, you got to put the energy and effort into trying to make yourself a better person. I'm always working on that. And you know what's the first step to that is taking a deep breath, resetting and saying, all right, maybe you may need some help and shit, because this shit is deep. When you out here talking about shit like this, you can't fix that on your own. You can't fix that on your own. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have never ever looked at anybody, male, female, and felt to myself, thought anything about their color, anything about their hair texture, nothing about the money they have, the money they don't have, shit their vehicles they're driving, nothing. I don't think about nothing, none of that shit. I've never, ever in my life thought about none of that shit. The only time I think about it is when it's happened to me, and I'm like, fuck going on over here? What's wrong with them? Nothing stopping you from being great. But I do believe if that's what's instilled in you, that confidence, you're somebody, I think you're going to feel that way, because you got to really pump that into your children. You know, and it ain't easy. I got 4 boys. And trust me, that shit ain't, the little one's still great. The 11-year-old's still great. The 13-year-old, he's straight. 15-year-old, I've been able to put a foot in his ass sometimes. But you just got to still, no matter what, you got to come back to them and let them know how great they are. I tell my sons all the time, man, ain't nobody better than you. Look at you, handsome, you this, you that, you smart, you athletic. You got a good heart, you have good ways, you're altruistic. I be pumping my sons up. I be fueling them up with positive shit. Because I be damned if one of my sons come talking to me and saying some shit like what this girl here is out here saying about society. Fuck that shit. My kids ain't gonna be doing that bullshit. And I'm so glad I don't have fucking daughters. Not that I wouldn't have welcomed it, but I'd be damned, because it's a boxing household over here. If I have a daughter who may take a liking to Claressa Shields, and then see this fucking shit she's spewing out here, I'd be like, no, don't watch nothing of that shit. Even if I just try to pull a good about Claressa, I wouldn't want nothing, no, fuck that. Don't look at nothing. Look at Laila Ali. Find the females, the Serranos, the Katie Taylors that are, there's other examples out there for you. It's just unfortunate that I can't bring Claressa Shields into the circle because of her fucking mouth, you know what I mean? So, anyway, y'all keep cool. I talked enough about me. Probably talked more than what I should have. I should delete this goddamn video, but I ain't gonna do it. You know why? Because maybe it's cool sometimes to be human and let people know, all right, we're doing this YouTube shit, but I'm human just like you, man. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? That shit may spark a different type of conversation in the comment section. But if you enjoy it, leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings while I drink my coffee. Keep cool. I'm in the breeze.